Hello dear learners, in today's video lecture we are going to talk about the further part of natural history of disease, that is the phases of natural history of disease. In our earlier video we have seen the two phases, that is pre-pathogenesis phase and pathogenesis phase. Pre-pathogenesis phase is the phase which occurs in the environment. Since the trick I have given you is EE, that is pre includes E and environment includes E. So pre-pathogenesis in the environment and pathogenesis is in the host. So the phases are pre-pathogenesis, pathogenesis. In pathogenesis there is late pathogenesis and early pathogenesis. We'll see the epidemiological triad, then their interaction, and we will go through the importance of natural history of disease. So to start with the phases in brief, the first phase which we have seen is what? Pre-pathogenesis phase. So coming towards pre-pathogenesis phase, in this phase it is the phase before the onset of disease in the human being. That means since the name is pre, that means before. So this phase is before the onset of disease in the human beings. मतलब ये किसी disease के occurrence से पहले या फिर शुरू होने से पहले का जो phase होता है इसको बोलते हैं pre-pathogenesis phase. The disease agent जो होता है, disease agent जो responsible होता है disease cause करने के लिए, that has not yet entered into the man या फिर host, but the factor needed for the interaction of the agent with the human host are already present in the environment. So what are the three factors? First is agent. Agent is very much necessary to initiate the process of disease or for the onset of disease. Then that agent first should interact with the host, that means animal, and they should interact or they can interact through the environment. So the three factors are what? Agent, host and environment. So potentially actually if you'll go to speak, then we all are in the pre-pathogenesis phase for many of the diseases, but it depends on the situation to situation or individual to individual, it varies. So this is nothing but a epidemiological triad. This host, agent and environment, the interaction of all these three factors will initiate a disease. So this is this you can visualize it as seesaw, right? So agent बैठ गया. अभी seesaw पे अगर दो लोग seesaw खेल रहे हैं तो दूसरा पर्सन जब बैठता है तो it depends on this first person जो पहले से बैठा था. If that person is very much well balanced to balance this, then disease will not occur. But if the host is immunocompromised or if the host's immunity fails to fight against that agent which has entered into the body to initiate a disease, then this agent will succeed, this will go up and this will come down, and this will succeed and production of disease will take place. So from the epidemiological triad we have seen these are the three factors. First is host, agent and environment. So we'll see the definitions first. Now host is what? Host is any person or animal which allows the lodgement of infectious agent. So lodgement of infectious agent मतलब क्या? Infectious agent को रहने के लिए जगह दे रहा है कौन? कोई person या फिर animal. So host is nothing but it's a person or an animal which allows the lodgement of infectious agent into its body, their own body. Then what is agent? The agent is defined as the substance. It is a substance which is either living or non-living. That means living भी हो सकता है, non-living भी हो सकता है. ये सब्सटेंस हो सकता है या फिर कोई फोर्स हो सकता है जो कि tangible है and intangible है, that is non-tangible. Tangible means what? We can perceive it by touch. So touch perception होने वाला फोर्स या फिर non-tangible मतलब टच परसेप्शन ना फील होने वाला. So the excessive presence or lack of which, either a force or the presence of substance, may initiate or perpetuate a disease process. That means host will allow the lodgement of this agent inside the body and the disease initiation will take place. For example, we'll see here it's a living substance. Say for example, a Mycobacterium tuberculosis is the bacterium which causes the TB. So human host will allow this Mycobacterium tuberculosis, which is a living substance, to lodge inside the body, and that agent will capture the host immune system, and it will slowly take control and it will grow. So the TB is caused due to Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So Mycobacterium tuberculosis is the agent. It can infect this human beings. So it's a host, that is a person. So coming towards the interaction between this epidemiological triad, these three factors. So this here you can see the interaction of these three, that is between the host. Here pathogen is nothing but the agent which is responsible for causing disease. So this is host, agent and environment. When these three factors will interact, this is responsible, the interaction is responsible for production of disease. So coming towards the second stage of natural history of disease, or second phase we can call it as. So this phase begins with the entry of disease agent. अभी प्री पैथोजेनेसिस में क्या था, एनवायरनमेंट में एजेंट प्रेजेंट था बट वो होस्ट में एंटर नहीं हुआ था. इन पैथोजेनेसिस फेज व्हाट विल हैपन, this disease agent now will enter into the host, and this disease agent, once it enters into the host, after entry it will remain silent. What it will do, in our last video we have seen the incubation period, right? Incubation period means what? It is a certain interval of time. Since it's a period, it's a interval of time before the onset of clinical signs and symptoms of the disease. There is a certain interval of time before the onset of clinical signs and symptoms of the disease. That means once that infectious agent enters into the host, after the entry and till the onset of signs and symptoms of disease, whatever the time span is there, whatever the interval is there, that interval of time is known as incubation period. So during this incubation period, what disease agent will do? Disease agent, once it enters, it will slowly multiply and it will induce tissue and physiological changes. So it is working, it is there in the body, but in previous or in earlier stage no signs and symptoms will be seen, but in later stage the signs and symptoms will be clear cutly seen. So they are responsible, within this incubation period they will multiply, they will grow and they will cause the physiological changes. Then we will see the pathogenesis ka expansion, that is early and late pathogenesis. As we have discussed earlier, this incubation period मतलब क्या, जो इंटरवल होता है कि माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म एंटर होने के बाद वो साइंस और सिम्टम्स दिखाए, डिजीज प्रोड्यूस करे, तो वो पीरियड इमीडिएटली कौन फॉलो करता है? अर्ली पैथोजेनेसिस. सो व्हाट इज अर्ली पैथोजेनेसिस? इन अर्ली पैथोजेनेसिस देयर विल बी नो क्लियर कट साइंस एंड सिम्टम्स ऑफ एनी पर्टिकुलर डिजीज. दैट मीन्स क्लियर कट साइंस एंड सिम्टम्स विल नॉट बी visible, and this early pathogenesis will be immediately followed by late pathogenesis when clear cut signs and symptoms will be observed in the patient. So the final outcome of disease can be recovery, disability or death, as we have discussed in the definition in our earlier video. So early and late pathogenesis concept is there in the pathogenesis phase. In early pathogenesis, no clear cut signs and symptoms will be there, and in late pathogenesis the disease will be surely diagnosed due to the clear cut signs and the symptoms. Now we will see one example. So as we have discussed earlier, every disease has its own what you can say history of disease, right? So first we will go towards the importance of natural history of disease. in importance of natural history of disease, first we will see why it is important to study the history of that disease. So as we have seen earlier also, each disease has its own natural history. दैट मीन्स हर एक डिजीज़ का अपना अपना हिस्ट्री होता है. से फॉर एग्जांपल डायबिटीज़ का अपना एक हिस्ट्री होता है, कार्डियोवैस्कुलर डिजीजेस का अपना एक हिस्ट्री होता है. देर आर वेरियस फैक्टर्स विच आर इंटरमिंगल्ड इनटू दैट. And second is, it is not necessary that it will be same in every individual. So if the phases of natural history is, if the phase of natural history is known, that means in which phase that patient is currently, then the appropriate levels of prevention can be applied. That means suppose we'll take the example of diabetes here. What it is telling, that why it is important, if we know the phase in which phase that patient is, then we can apply appropriate level of prevention. So we'll take the example of diabetes now. In case of diabetes, as you can see, obesity is the first. So what this diagram is showing here, natural history of obesity. Obesity is followed by diabetes. So here obesity, it's a risk factor for the disease, and due to various lifestyle changes in the nutrition, physical activity, etc., insulin resistance, there are various factors. So insulin resistance, ya fir when you will go to the, when you will come closer towards the onset of diabetes, there is a glucose metabolism, what you can say, glucose metabolic hindrance can take place, so metabolic syndrome. Then onset of diabetes includes, first that is IGT, it is impaired glucose tolerance, which starts with the diabetes. Then this continuation of this diabetes phase, that is ongoing hyperglycemia, that means the increased level of glucose in the blood. This is ongoing hyperglycemia leads to various complications such as atherosclerosis, hypertension, etc., and they will produce the disabilities, various what you can say, chronic disabilities such as renal failure, this coronary heart diseases, then blindness, and ultimately even if the preventive measure is not applied, then the person leads to death. So if we come to know the phase of that disease, that means since this is the onset of disease, so since it is in the early phase, we can apply the proper preventive measures with respect to that phase, and we can prevent the disease from occurrence or to take the chronic form. So with this we finish with the phases of natural history of disease. Thank you for watching the video.